The first Olympic Games that took place in Asia was all the way back in 1964 in Tokyo, Japan, and it would be another 22 years before the Games would return to Asia, taking place at Seoul, South Korea in 1988. And South Korea ended up with 12 gold medals during those games. And in 2018, to celebrate the 30th year anniversary of the Seoul Olympics, Jordan Brand dropped a Jordan 3 Soul. That was a very, very limited shoe. And in 2025, we're getting version 2.0 of this colorway, Air Jordan 3 Soul 2.0. This shoe is dropping on May 17th for $200 in the United States. It's actually already dropped at, I think, a very few select retailers. I know the retailer in New York City, Cinco, I believe they had an early drop for this shoe, but May 17th apparently is the Wider Sneakers release date. If I get it wrong, that's their fault, not mine. Release dates are so fluid in the sneaker industry. By the way, I'm wearing a This Is Never That t-shirt. That is a Korean brand, so I'm on theme for this review and first impressions of this shoe. I love it. I really like it. Just from the unboxing, taking this shoe out, smelling the leather, touching the leather, and just the colorway. And it's not like perfect in terms of the colorway. I think there's some things they could have changed up, but overall, it just feels like a special shoe. This is definitely Michelin star rated delicious. And the upper of the shoe is mainly leather, so you see on the base layer and the materials. Oh, that feels good. You can see the texture of it. It's not like super thin textured leather. It feels nice to the touch. They really treated this like a special collaboration, and you see the leather lining is actually slightly colored as well. And then on the mudguard area, as well as the heel, that is the most distinct thing about the Jordan 3. Of course, it is the elephant print. On this shoe, on this version of the Soul Jordan 3s, it is more hairy, so it's got like more of a distressed type of aesthetic to it. And the elephant print isn't like as prominent, so going for that pre-aged look. And then moving up the tongue, you see these bottom eyelets, that is actually blue, so you get that same type of blue on the South Korean flag. And then on the eyelets up here, you get this very creamy yellowish type of color, so they changed this to like that pre-aged look. And I think I prefer the original version of the eyelets here better. I will refrain from complaining too much because overall I do really like this shoe. And then moving on to the ankle collar of this shoe, this is where they switch things up as well. So on the blue part, it is like kilted, and on the inside, you almost get like this satin lining, but it's kind of like shiny type of material. Gives it a more like elevated and sophisticated touch. And that is a nod to traditional Korean garments. And this ankle lining here does feel slightly more padded, but I don't feel like it affects sizing at all. And on the tongue of the Jordan 3, on the right shoe, you just get a regular Jumpman tongue. On the left shoe, you get the South Korean flag. But on the inside of the tongue, on the right shoe, you get the character Jeong, and that is the concept of affection and attachment. And on the left shoe, you get a different character. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, so I'm not gonna pronounce it, but that means dream. Now the 2018 version also had characters inside the tongue. So on the left shoe, it said Seoul. On the right shoe, it had the Olympic motto at the time, and it said harmony and progress. Now moving on to the booty of the shoe, like I said, they really treated this like a very special collaboration. They put Nike branding on the booty, and usually, as a general rule, doesn't always happen. For non-OG colorways, you get Jumpman on the back. For OG colorways, you get Nike Air. Special collabs have the Nike Air treatment like the A.Ma Maniére Jordan 3s. This one does as well, and it comes in that same pre-aged type of yellow creamy color. Again, don't love that overall. I will refrain from complaining too much because again, I do really like this shoe. Now the shoe doesn't come with any extra laces, just white laces out of the box. I would have really loved to see if they gave us like blue and red laces, 2 extra set of laces, just to really complete the South Korean theme, just give us more options. Yeah, I would have really liked that. 2 laces would cost like a cent each for them to produce, but we can't have nice things. So white laces it is. Now in terms of the cushioning of the Jordan 3, it comes with a polyurethane midsole with a Nike Air unit on the back. That is of course a visible Air unit and one in the forefoot as well. The Jordan 3 was the first Jordan brand shoe to actually expose that Nike Air. And since we're on the midsole, if I didn't know any better, I would give Jordan brand like the benefit of the doubt, because you can clearly see a very, very pre-aged midsole color here. It's almost gold, and I say almost gold and benefit of the doubt. If I didn't know any better, It's because gold is actually used in South Korea, and this is like originally an Olympic colorway to celebrate the 1988 Seoul Olympics. But because I know better, I'm pretty sure they made this so yellow, almost gold, just to really pre-age this shoe. In a vacuum, I do like just if it was white midsole, like on the first version of this colorway, much more. I'm just gonna tell myself they did this for the storytelling, because yeah, generally I just don't love pre-aged soles, but it is what it is. Now on the outsole of the shoe, very familiar Jordan 3 outsole, but again, just like the booty, you get Nike treatment and not Jordan hair. And the colors, minus this yellow outsole here, it is South Korean blue, South Korean red. If they just change this to white, it'll be the colors of the flag. But no, they just had to pre-age the flag, I guess. And the insole of the shoe, I will complain about this a little bit. It is just a pretty thick Dreamstyle insole. So it's decently thick with Nike Air branding on the heel, but it's not a polyurethane insole. Kind of wished it was, just like other special releases, but it is what it is. The box of the shoe, it is not just a regular Jordan 3 box. You get this sky kind of theme on the box lid itself, and on the side where you see that elephant print, that's actually textured, so you feel it. Now you see this paper inside, and I believe this packaging is inspired by a type of traditional Korean clothing called hanbok, a type of hanbok. If you're Korean, please let me know if I'm wrong and correct me in the comments below. And you'll see the characters on the box. I had to consult with my Korean friend. The red word is jong. You saw that on the inside of the tongue. The concept of affection and attachment. The black characters, that means persistence. My friend said she can't tell what the second part says, but apparently she thinks it means comfort, persistence and comfort. Not 100% certain. If you're Korean, please confirm in the comments below. I did my best. Now in terms of sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer. For Jordan 3s, I stick true to size. Lengthwise, widthwise, fits me pretty well. It is one of the Jordan retros, from like Jordan 1 to 14 at least, that I feel like fits my fat feet really well. There's no heel slippage, no pain in the forefoot. None of my toes feel like it's getting strangled to death. Yeah, it is a comfortable shoe. Under feet, it is still pretty flat to the ground. Ancient technology, doesn't have the best cushioning, but if you know that you're going into a Jordan retro and not expecting like the most updated technology, you'll have no problems with the comfort of the shoe. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Jordan 3 Sole 2.0 to 44 out of 50. A very high score compared to other special releases. First, it is colorway. You don't have to be South Korean to really appreciate this colorway, because it is just, honestly, it is beautiful. I really like the colors. The colors on the flag work really well. Red, white, and blue, can't go wrong. It just looks so good. Do I love the pre-age thing? No. But everything else is just so well done. So I'll take 1 point away from just them pre-aging different parts of this shoe. Again, if I really wanted to give them benefit of the doubt, I would say they made this kind of golden, because gold can be used in like Korean traditions, but I don't think they were going for that. They were just pre-aging this shoe. So 9 out of 10 for colorway. Still really, really well done. And in terms of the materials, these are nice materials. The texture is soft. You can see the texture come through very clearly. It is not like super thick leather, but it doesn't feel like super thin where it gets like flimsy and just doesn't feel nice to the touch. I like the materials. And the suede here, even though I don't love that type of hairy suede, small amounts, it does still feel pretty nice. And the material change up on the back, the ankle lining here, it really just does give this shoe like an elevated aesthetic. I love it. And in terms of the comfort, Jordan 3 is generally a pretty comfortable shoe. It is pretty flat compared to like shoes coming out in 2025, but I think the two Nike Air units, the polyurethane midsole, still holds up relatively well. I think the 13s, 5s, 14s, sometimes even the 2s can be slightly more comfortable than this, but casual use walking around, I have no complaints for the Jordan 3s. And I will say sometimes, not often, but like Jordan 3s can come pretty stiff out of the box under feet. I didn't really feel that with this polyurethane. And in terms of the versatility of this shoe, the Jordan 3s, super versatile, cannot go wrong. It is pretty much a mainstream sneaker by now. The wearability of the colorway, honestly, the colors of the Korean flag are just red, white, and blue. Super versatile, very standard colors. Yeah, I still think the wearability of this colorway, even with the kind of shinier type of lining around the ankle collar, I don't feel like it's too bright or too loud that it takes away from the wearability. So still a very versatile shoe. In terms of the storytelling, I honestly really like how they executed this. The flag right in the middle tells you exactly what the shoe is about. The characters on the inside of the tongue the box to the paper within the box, how it's presented, everything about the unboxing for a sneaker that's not like a crazy collaboration. I feel like it's about as good as they can do. Really, really like it. I'm not Korean, so hopefully I didn't miss any of the nuances that came with the shoe. I did my best to research everything. And I will say this, over the past few years, they have been carrying the region of East Asia on their back, at least in the West. K-pop is super popular, Oscar award-winning movies, Squid Game, TV shows like that are just like exploding. They are doing something right, because I tell you, as an Asian person myself, it is not easy for our culture to really permeate like Western pop culture. And the fact that South Korea has really done that over the past 5 to 10 years, big props to them. And with a shoe like this, with a colorway like this, the momentum hasn't stopped. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 3 Soul 2.0. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.